There are lots of Easter eggs in Black Ops 6 Zombies that are centered around giving yourself a chance at nabbing some high value gear. But there's also one in particular that's more about just absolutely decimating all the zombies in a round and getting lots of free essence without shooting a single bullet. Here's how to get the superhero Easter egg in the Liberty Falls map. The hardest part of this Easter egg is assembling the jet gun, and since we've already done a guide on how to do that as part of the main quest Easter egg, I'm just going to include that bit from that video in here since the steps are all the same. The first component that we need for the jet gun is the water pressure gauge, and to get it, you'll first need to head to Washington Street and hold the interact button on this valve by the Lily's Flower Pot store to get the water valve. There's no interact prompt, but you'll still be able to grab it. With the water valve in hand, head to the bowling alley when you've got only one zombie left in a round. You don't want to begin this next part while there's still a bunch of zombies chasing after you. There's a metal covering on the wall that you can shoot off to reveal a gauge where you can place the valve. When you're ready, hold the interact button on the valve to start filling up a bar. This will cause zombies to start flooding the alley. If you're playing with a squad, have everyone focus on protecting the person on the valve. If you're playing solo, you should be able to get the bar a little more than a quarter of the way full before you'll have to let go and run away from the zombies. You have about 20 seconds before the progress on the bar will start to rapidly decrease if you're not interacting with it, which is enough time to try and train some zombies out of the bowling alley, then run back and continue holding it down before you lose too much progress. Be patient, don't get greedy, and use crowd controlling throwables like decoy grenades or Casimirs to buy yourself more time to hold the button down without getting interrupted. Once you fill the bar, collect the water pressure gauge off the floor and you'll be ready to move on to the next part. Head to the graveyard for the next component, located right next to the church. You're waiting for a special zombie to spawn here named the Groundskeeper. He spawns randomly, but a good round to check for him is when there's a vermin only round, since there are no zombies that you might confuse him with. Either way, kill him when you spot him, and then check around his dead body for a tool shed key, which you can take to the shed just outside the graveyard and to the left.
Seems his luck didn't stick around in the end though. Wonder what the key's for.
Pick up the handbrake, and you'll be good to move on to the next part. For the final component, you'll need a mangler can. Manglers begin spawning on round 11 and have a chance of dropping these if you shoot their gun arm off, but it's not a guaranteed drop. The easier way to get one is to use a workbench, where they'll cost 1,250 salvage, but they also require you to be player level 20 in order to purchase. The choice of how you get one is yours, but once you have a mangler cannon, head on down to the Radio House Electronics Superstore, which is right across from Ollie's Comics. Switch to the mangler cannon and blow open this door. Then hold the interact button on the junk piles all around the floor. Some will have salvage, one will have a vermin jump out, and the one you're looking for will have electrical wires that you can pick up. Once you have all three parts, head back to the motel starting area, go up the stairs, and if you haven't triggered it already, be prepared for a bunch of zombies to spill out of the motel room on the left. Inside this room will be the workbench where you can assemble the jet gun. Be careful though, it takes a few seconds to craft, and zombies love to sneak up on you while you're crafting it. There's not a lot of room to maneuver here, so make sure that before you start crafting, you kill all the nearby zombies. Now that you have a jet gun, you'll need to suck up 9 superhero figures with it in order to activate this Easter egg. There are 4 figures that can be found right away in Ollie's Comics, located here on a shelf, here by the window next to the front door, high up on this display cube, and right here next to the side exit. Head outside through the side doors and head straight ahead to the motel sign, on top of which you'll spot another figure. Head towards Washington Avenue, and as you're heading up the large hill, you'll spot the next figure on the right on top of a window-mounted air conditioning unit across from the dark ether field generator. Go up the hill towards the church, and you should be able to barely spot the figure on the ledge of the window on the right side. Head down towards the bowling alley and use the elevated ledge with grass to leap onto the bus. If you squint, you might be able to barely see the figure by the second L in the Liberty Lane sign. Finally, go back to the hill near Washington Avenue, hop onto the brick building, then use the zip line to get on top of the roof of the bank. There will be a little barrier that you can blow up to drop down onto the rooftop of the Yummy Freeze Shop. Aim your jet gun in between the air conditioning vents to suck up the figure. Once you have all 9 figures, you'll transform into a life-size Aetherella statue and will be able to use your laser eyes to utterly melt any zombies in your eyesight. This power-up lasts quite a while, at least a full round, giving you an opportunity to earn a bunch of essence without having to expend any ammo or equipment. And it's also risk-free since you're invulnerable while in superhero statue form. And that's it! Thanks for watching, and for more Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies Easter eggs, check out our video covering the main Easter egg in Liberty Falls, and much more. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.